Hello, everybody, and thank you for patiently waiting for what is going to be a very special RuneScape live stream. Yes, we are here today to begin, finally, the launch of RuneScape on mobile. We have a 3-hour show ahead of us where there's a ton of things to talk about and a ton of things to show. So, just to give you a little preview of what to expect, to open the show, we've got Mod Warden and Mod Liam with us here today to talk about the mobile project. Where did we start? What have we been doing? And a whole host of mobile pre-reg related news to drop. And we didn't really tell you about this one, but not to spoil too much, we're going to finally tell you when you can expect the Elder God Wars dungeon you've been waiting for. Oh yeah, we're going there. Then it's time for our mobile launch party. While the official launch date is tomorrow, we're actually going to be pressing the button live on stream, so to speak, and that will begin a worldwide rollout across the mobile stores that will take place over the next 24 hours. And to do that, we're actually going to be joined by a ton of people from around the team on a special Zoom wall, and we'll also be in-game celebrating the moment. We'd love for you to join us. We'll be at Burthop Lodestone at 4 p.m. game time on World 16 and 36, giving out street waffles, giving out love letters, and of course, throwing out some crazy transmogs. After we launch and have a bit of that party, it's time to drop some first details on the City of Senntisten. So next week's epic Elder God Wars quest, and the last before the war begins very soon. Stick around because we'll be dropping the first details on the quest along with some of its juicy rewards, and we'll also debut a very cool in-game trailer. I'm very excited for you to see this one. And then finally, if that wasn't a jam-packed show enough, we'll also be hopping into some mobile gameplay, close out our last segment of the show. We'll be joined by Mod Stu to run through, as we promised you, a live playthrough of Davendale on mobile with the full audio, the full visual experience. It should be very cool. And then also we'll dive a little into that final build with all its various UI changes and refinements with the rest of the team too. With that, that's everything that's coming over the next 3 hours. So strap in. It's going to be quite a ride. Grab some tea, grab some popcorn, whatever you want, because it's going to be a ride. But pleased to welcome us into this first segment of the show and talk a little bit about this upcoming mobile launch when we press the button at 5. Please welcome Mod Warden.
Howdy, everyone.
And Mod Liam P. I called you Mod Liam P.
Mod
I always
Liam
call you
P.
Mod Liam P, but he's Mod Liam.
Yeah, I am the only Liam Jagex.
Sure. So, obviously, both of you, this is a massive day for RuneScape. I hope you can feel the excitement we have here through the camera if you're watching at home. But so, as we mentioned, our launch is tomorrow. We've been saying the date is the 17th, but today is the day that live on stream we're going to hit that deployment button, and throughout the day, throughout the next 24 hours, RuneScape on mobile is going to start appearing in stores in different regions at different times around the world. How are you both feeling about that being a reality? You know, we're literally 45 minutes away from it. How's it feel?
Oh, we're here. We finally got here, right? Exciting stuff.
Yeah, so I've got that. Like, most humans never ever feel one thing, so it's like a proper good old storm going on there. There's excitement, relief after so many years working on a project like this. It is relieving to finally get to the point where we can release it to everyone. A little bit of nerves as well, obviously. Just there's tons of stuff. So much of this is in our control. We've done loads of planning. We're really ready for this, but there's still that unknown stuff that I'm probably going to be staying up quite late tonight trying to get to sleep, just wondering if things have happened. So I'm probably going to be spending an evening with the Google Play console and just seeing installs tick up and how many people are and which regions are coming into the game, just making sure everything's fine. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling. That was a long rambling answer because it's kind of hard to unpack how I'm feeling.
That's the thing. It isn't just as simple as press a button and walk away, right? It's not like our work ends as soon as that releases. Right?
Yeah, totally. And the whole team have been just noses to the grindstone, making sure that we've covered every possible angle. They've been working absolutely great guns like the last couple of weeks. So much polishing and so much bug fixing going into the build, going into the update on Monday as well. It's really, really heartwarming to see. Just even though we work hard all the time, when it comes to moments like these, everyone just comes together even more and just it's really quite uplifting in a way. It's quite nice.
Yeah, so and it's super exciting. I know it's been a long road to make this happen. You know, I think the community would be like, insert winter 2017 memes here sort of moment. But that's a reflection of a ton of hard work, a really long road, a lot of effort that's gone in for along the team. And I hear you've brought a few slides along just to talk about the story of how we got here. Do you want to take us through that a little bit?
Yeah, totally. You can't talk to a product manager without seeing some PowerPoints. So I put together a brief history of RuneScape. Part of this was to try and just shout out, like, just basically chronologically, we've done a lot of work on this. So let's just get straight into it, actually. Let's go for the first slide, which should be a nice little... this is our original plan. And this is where one of those popular memes might have come from. We had the plan that, you know, from June 2017, we'd have a playable demo ready for internal testing. We'd show it to a few players and do some player research on it, a little bit of UI and UX testing in August 2017. And then, you know, RuneFest 2017, there'll be a playable demo. We'll just go straight into the closed beta of winter 2017. And then we'll be an open beta by January 2018 and full commercial launch in Feb. Simple plan from a simpler era. Basically, it was ambitious. We had huge ambitions. And in hindsight, things were never going to be that simple. So if we go on to the next slide, we'll see like where the project started out a little bit. So this was our first iteration. This is the thing we squeezed onto the game just to see, squeezed onto a phone just to see if the game would run, and basically have a look at what kind of problems we're going to be having. The kind of problems we're going to be having is squeezing that RS3 UI down onto a phone. It's huge, it's big, it's complicated, it's customizable. So, you know, players are getting used to very specific ways of using this thing. It's not like there's a standardized set of layouts that we can use on mobile that will feel familiar. So we started noodling about with stuff on the next slide, which is coming up with some UI mockups. Oh no, crap. We went to RuneScape 2017 first. Sorry. I remember, I wrote this. Yeah, we basically went to RuneScape 2017 and we showed it off to players. And you can see ModPie there, Mod Hunter. They were very, very heavily involved in the early phases of the project. You can see just about there Mod Dolan as well in the bottom left hand corner, and obviously we got a lot of good feedback that was telling us that the game wasn't quite where we thought it should be. So if we move on to the next slide, we started, this is the bit where we really started looking at early designs for how the UI would work on mobile, and this is like really early dev art. This was part how should the game be laid out, what is technically possible within our game engine, and how, you know, we're converting our game engine to work with gesture controls. How do we best use those within this tiny little screen and our game engine? And if you move on to the next slide, we kind of arrived at this very early combat view of the interface, where you've got, it still kind of follows this rough layout today. You've got your sort of parent / home button in the top corner, along with a little bit of chat, mini map in the top right hand corner, and you've got the ribbon down the side, and then the action bar buttons, which, you know, Mod Skelitor did a load of testing with that. Oh, my mic's too close to my mouth. I've been asked to move it. Basically, we had Mod Skeletor make a mock-up of those action bars, and he was passing it around, and it was running on a phone, and we were just timing each other to see how long we could get through this series of button presses, and different layouts were sort of provided to us, and the ones that were easiest to use in terms of, you know, you didn't make too many mishits, or you didn't, it was still quicker than other averages. We went with this one in the end, and this hasn't really changed much in all the iterations, which if we go on to the next slides, we'll start seeing the game as we go through. So we did manage to get to Android early access by 2018. That was oh crikey, that was like August 2018, I think. We basically opened up the game on Android to a select number of members, so that we were basically able to test with engaged players, people that knew RuneScape and could provide us with knowledgeable feedback. You know, they're experts on the game in desktop, and we can get valuable feedback as to why they're struggling or what they're finding good about mobile. If we go on here, you can see that we've actually upgraded the UI here as well. It's evolved a little bit more. We've got the action bar buttons. We've got NPC chat, which really helped because the NPC chat on desktop, where the screen is bigger, you still feel connected to those NPCs. But that chat system on mobile, the words were so hard to read because they were scrunched down, and the characters were also a lot smaller. You felt very disconnected from the conversation that was happening. So we came up with the mobile chat system, which is a lot more engaging and a lot more intimate for the player when they're playing. And you can see we're sort of thinking about the inventory there and how you drop things, how you inspect things, how you interact with things like high alch and stuff like that. If we go on to the next slide, we should see the open beta for Android. We basically spent a year or so just iterating over and over again. And once we got to October 2019, we were happy for everyone on Android to play the game and give us even more feedback, new players included. So you could be free to play, you could be paid member and play on the game. And here you see another iteration. We moved the icons and a lot of the top level layouts around a little bit, some slight tweaks to make it look a little bit cleaner, make it a little bit more modern, and just make sure that there was a sort of broad appeal for new players coming into the game, and they felt like this was a modern game. There were some problems with these icons. Anyone who's played in this format during the beta will know that if you went to the desert or anything with a little bit of yellow in the background, your HUD would half disappear. So we've iterated away from those. We'll see those in an upcoming slide. If we pop on to the next one, though. So May 2020, we went into the iOS closed beta. This was quite a relief for a lot of iOS players because at the time, you know, they were still waiting for winter 2017 to come around and be able to play the game full stop. But we opened it up to a test flight beta on iOS. This was naturally had to be limited, just that's the way Apple run their betas. They're much more tightly controlled. We couldn't open it up to everyone, but it was still a really good place to get feedback from the iOS crew and just getting issues that were specific to the Apple handsets sorted as well. It's been a really valuable and useful experience to us. We still had those golden icons at the time, but a few other things were still being sort of iterated on in the background. Mostly, yeah, if we go to the next slide, we can see what was being iterated on. So we get to March 2021, and we're looking at a new mobile tutorial. So the tutorial island on desktop, there's nothing wrong with it per se, but it's not a very mobile-friendly tutorial. It's very long, so we wanted to come up with something that taught the same kind of things as that tutorial, but also taught the sort of sandbox nature of RuneScape, the fact that players coming into this game, you're not just going to be going around the same core loop over and over again. You've got a lot of choice and variety in what you play, like a lot of choice and variety. So we wanted to make sure that players were prepared for that and that they would understand when they go into the post-tutorial experience that it was sort of branching them out and sort of taking the training wheels off, in essence, like gently making noobs into RuneScape players. So that's the aim of this tutorial. Be shorter, be more engaging, and a better first impression as well. Like this environment, Davendale, just looks gorgeous. It's like this has set the standard for what I want the rest of RuneScape to look like from now on. You know, that's not a promise that we're going to deliver it or anything right now, but definitely something. This is the ambition. We want to work towards this. Next slide, please. So we do the new tutorials. We've run it through beta. We've been iterating towards this day. This day, and tomorrow, because we're pushing the button later, and tomorrow will be completely live. But here you can see all of the stuff that we've done since that tutorial upgrade. We've put in the new icons, which I really love. I know there's a little bit of discussion about them, but I think these are more akin to the sort of desktop icons. They're more RuneScape-y, they're easier to read, they're easier to press. You have a better sense that you're interacting with something there. I just absolutely love it. But we've pushed even further. You've got Mod Ashes, who's I'll give a shout out to Mod Ashes, because I think he is the one person on the mobile project that has been on the mobile project from day one. Other people have sort of rotated in and out and gone to work on other projects as needed during that time. Obviously, other people would have left and new people join halfway through the project. But Ash has been like the constant. Might call him Mod Mobile from now on, actually. So yeah. This is where we are today, and the game has come on leaps and bounds since that early iteration where it's just a few patchy buttons down the side and a squished up chat window, to this with really lovely, gorgeous tutorial environments. The game in other areas is looking fantastic as well. You can see Catherby there, and a little bit of Menethos as well. Everywhere's looking good. The top level UIs are looking great, and we're launching tomorrow. Everyone's going to get to play through this. And if we go on to the next slide.
Well, hang on, so we've changed the slide a little bit.
Oh.
So surprising you with this now.
Change the slide. Oh my god. What's happening?
No, firstly, thanks for all the love for Mod Ash in the chat, everyone. I know Mod Ashes has wanted to take part in this a lot. I hope you knew it was Ashes, but Mod Ashes is unfortunately wasn't able to join us today. So big shout out to Mod Ashes. We'd love to have had you on, and we hope you're watching wherever you are on all that sort of stuff. Just before we show something else, one thing I do want to call out, you may notice the mini map back in the top right. We did it. We listened. We heard your feedback. Something that I don't know when we're going to be able to get out in the stream, so I'm just going to make sure we cover it now before I forget. The store button that we are removing is still being removed, but that's coming slightly after, right?
Yes,
it's an engine build that didn't quite make it.
Yeah, basically, this was all my fault. I forgot to speak to my producer properly, and I gave the wrong date. I didn't even do that. I'll be honest. I assumed. Never assume. You know why? It makes an ass of you and me. But the home screen update, that button will be disappearing, and it will become part of the home button with the new marketplace and things like that. So
it's gonna be we're talking weeks as well, right? It's short time frame. It's not long term change.
Yeah, it's not going to be like winter 2017 situation. Let's put it that way.
Cool. Yeah, we just wanted to let you know in case you saw it. We wanted to make sure you knew what was going on. That was just a bit of a miss on our part. So, well, from there, obviously, that's the story of the past. Thank you, Mod Liam, for running through all that stuff. And it leads us up to where we are today. Now, the question is, we spent all this effort and all this time to bring this to life. The question is going to be, what's the ultimate goal? Where does mobile fit in the picture for us? And before we dive into that, Mod Warden, I understand that you and Mod Liam have bought maybe a little sneaky trailer or something we can roll. Is that true?
Fire away if it's ready.
So that's super awesome, obviously, to have that out. Yeah.
What an amazing creative team we have. I think over the last year and a bit, we've really kind of hyped up our trailers and brought a lot more creative into what we're doing. So that's super awesome.
Lots of love for it in the chat too. So, yeah, as I was talking about, so we've come this 4-year journey. I know it's even started a little bit before that. Do you want to talk a little bit about what mobile means for the future of RuneScape? Why are we doing this? Why is it important to us? And where does it fit into where we're going?
Yeah, the main objective has always been, growing RuneScape and getting RuneScape everywhere we can, everywhere that it makes sense. And we did that last year with Steam as well. Smash that expectation right out there, and I believe that we're going to do it again with mobile, and then we'll continue to do growth platform place like this wherever it makes sense. And Gielinor is this lively universe and pocket world, and it's important to show that there's always life coming to it, and so that's why we try and get into all the platforms. And I love thinking about what this really means is that now you have 20 years of content on this little device that you can throw in your pocket and take it with you on the go. It sounds a little cheesy, but that's what it is, right? And then if you fancy dashing over to a desktop experience or anything else in the future, we do that too, and we try and have a cohesive, ubiquitous experience for you with that. And it's just, I don't know, it's just amazing. It's just community building. I think with mobile, we get to go to new countries and new places and see where this new wave of citizens coming to Gielinor will come from. I'm really excited about that.
Awesome. And just to let you know, we're going to be doing live giveaways in the chat throughout the stream too. It's a big stream. We're going to be giving away a bunch of stuff to thank you for joining us and having a good time. So keep an eye out for those in chat. I hear the first one's about to go live shortly. So yeah, it's part of this bigger vision of growing the citizenship that we've talked about before. I know we talk about it a lot. And Mod Liam, I know in a stream before, we've talked a little bit about how we're already thinking about what's next for mobile as a platform, like it's part of our future, right? So I know we are still forming a lot of the plans, but do you have anything you could show people a little bit in terms of where we're going and where our thinking lies?
I don't know how much you did with my PowerPoint presentation, but we didn't
do much. Huge... There should be a future slide coming up any minute when production gets the queue. But there you go. As if by magic, there's the smoke again.
To be honest, I didn't really need it. It's just a visual aid, really. Basically, yeah, we're cross-platform now, so we're not just going to be focusing on mobile as the mobile team. What we're really going to be focusing on is making more RuneScape players. This is going to be guiding them from like noob in the tutorial right through the post-tutorial experience all the way up through to maxed players. We want to make sure that we're able to turn newbies into RuneScape players. And the way I define that is people who know how to set their own objectives. They can look through that skill interface, pick out a level target, and then they know how to go about achieving that target. That's what I want to turn new players into, because I think as soon as you get a player to there, they understand the game, they get it, and they love it. And that's what I want to basically show to everyone. Other things that I want to do, I've talked about how gorgeous Davendale is. As we're tackling post-tutorial stuff, maybe we're tackling area updates as well, just making them look like Davendale, making them sing, really bringing them into the 21st century. That's an odd thing to say because this game has only been out in the 21st century, but you know what I mean. Modernizing and making it, giving it a broad appeal to everyone who sees it in an ad, in the stores, around their mate's house, on a Twitch stream. I want them to look at this game and think, yeah, for a 20-year-old game, this is absolutely bang up to date. What the hell are you talking about, 20-year-old game? And then just making the game more intuitive for players, whatever platform they're on and whatever kind of player they are. Just make sure that if you're new to mobile, when you come over to desktop, make sure they know that there's a desktop game, and when they come over, they're not lost. And vice versa. If players are totally on desktop and they've not touched mobile, I want them to be able to transition backwards as well. So there's going to be a huge challenge, obviously, because those two platforms are very different beasts and they need to be treated separately. But we also need to make sure that we're treating the players the same. That's going to be the weird tension in that. But yeah, that's basically the future, is to make this game truly modern and keep it modern for the next 10, 20, 30 years.
Awesome.
At least that's my ambition.
That's really awesome. And so if any of you out there, either if you're thinking of joining us on mobile, you're already pre-registered at the ready, or you're already playing on whatever platform of your choice that we're available on, there's still so much more to come. And thanks, Mod Liam, for running us through all that. Now, something we want to get to, we're closing in on pressing the button time, is the pre-registration process, and how we've asked the community to rally your friends, your family, and anyone to kind of join us on this new adventure, on this new platform. And the benefit of these pre-registrations is that the more pre-registrations we get, the more will be visible in stores, the more players we can look forward to welcoming in the early days, and it just has some all-round benefits to help more players discover us beyond those who already pre-register. Now, Mod Warden, we are pretty much on launch, so I think it's time for the people to know just how many people have pre-registered, thanks to the communal efforts of both what we've been doing to try and promote the game, and also all the amazing efforts of the community. Where did we net out?
Well, as of this morning, we just came into 1.8 million pre-registrations. Blew our minds. This was an amazing moment. It's just, so it's just like that. The last, what was it, 65, 70 days thereabouts. We were just kind of like watching all of these fantastic moments come in. But I think it's worth saying that we don't expect everybody to come in all at the exact moment.
No, yeah.
we're ready for large growth. I would say that going through so many different product launches over the years, there's often pains with it. I think we've got it as great as we can. Now we just need the feedback and see where we land in all of that. And then the real heavy job is trying to serve mobile and providing mobile updates and taking all the things we're learning about all the goings on of all the platforms. It's just, I was also looking at all the new devices that we are now supporting. It's well over 7,000 different types of hardware devices. Mostly driven by Android, but this is when we talked about how big of a feat of a challenge this was. That's what we're dealing with, and we're going to keep trying to reach more and more devices around the world. But this is our starting point, and it's now about the response that we can bring to it. And then I guess with all that, everybody probably is anxious to know about the unlocks. They've all been unlocked. Surprise,
Surprising when you hear that number, totally.
Well, we hit this yesterday, and we held the news today. Obviously, we wanted to bring it on the live stream, and we just wanted to get that next little bit of push in there. So this is the clear that the community responded. Just mind blown. Don't worry, I'm not going to get all teary-eyed over this, but I still feel it. Yeah.
No, it is amazing, and we'll give you all the details. We would discuss them now, but we'll give you all the details on how that rolls out. The community team are kind of putting out a survival guide that you'll see, and it will contain any details on that. Main thing you need to know is the unlocks will appear in game from midnight game time on 17th of June. And that will include the 50% bonus for 7 days of launch. You will need to log in on mobile to receive those benefits, so just bear that in mind. And if you go grab those benefits, you can obviously take them onto desktop, etc. as well. So off those amazing news and numbers, I know we only have you for a few more minutes before we take a short break and come back for the launch stream where we have some very special guests. We are going to be showing City of Senntisten and talking a bit more about City of Senntisten later in the show. But that is just the start of a packed summer ahead for RuneScape. And I know, at the top of the show, we promised people that we're going to talk a little bit about when they can expect the Elder God Wars dungeon experience and that sort of stuff. So, if anyone out there is watching and they're looking to hop in, continue playing, or play for the first time, why is this a great time to come to RuneScape this summer?
Well, really, it's no better time to come to RuneScape. It's no better time to be a player. We got this, tsunami of new players on their way. Looking forward to that. But it's Elder God Wars beginnings, right? And so, City of Senntisten, is the, war is coming, and we're now about to move into wars actually here. And July is going to be the first front of the Elder God Wars dungeon being opened up, and then that's going to mark the beginning. And every month thereafter, we're going to open up a new front. We've got 4 fronts coming, 4 key areas that are gonna drive a lot of bossing activity. It's gonna be supporting skilling and Slayer and combat and all the fun stuff that we know our players quite enjoy. And you're not going to want to skip over this. This we eased our way into it. We like building up the narrative and like to trickle in and tease a few things. We did that actually, if you remember, with our archaeology launch and our key art. We snuck a few things in there, and that was just the little bits and bobs about that. But this is not the only thing we're doing. This whole slew of ninja updates. We've got the fan favorite event, the beach. We did an amazing amount of activity with the beach last year. We got several technical improvements on the way, and other surprises. And we'll join you whenever we're ready to show and tell.
And that's right. So you heard it here first. Elder God Wars Dungeon begins in July. There's going to be 4 fronts, releasing 1 every month, and they're going to offer a variety of experiences. And it's not far away at all. And it all begins with the City of Senntisten as well. We cannot wait to tell you more about that. Is another huge piece of content in the Elder God Wars saga leading into this. I know a lot of you have been waiting to hear about that, so we're really excited about it. Now, just before we head for a short break before the launch party, Mod Warden, Mod Liam, any final words you have for the community just before we take that break?
Just thank you. I've talked a lot about how much work the team have put in, which is a huge amount of work. How you'll see it a little bit later, just a sort of slight inkling of how many people in Jagex have helped contribute to this. But within the community, without the feedback we've gotten over the last 4 or 5 years, the game wouldn't be where it is today, and we wouldn't be able to take it even further into the future. So yeah, thank you to you guys as well.
Yeah, and for me, I think about the team that took us on the journey. We were at All Greens Check yesterday. Every area of the business had covered and sounded off on the launch, and just kind of seeing all the leaders on the screen. It was dozens of people, and then some of our executive leaders chimed in and wished us well on that front as well. We're here. It's happening.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Mod Warden and Mod Liam. I know you're going to be sticking around just for this next section. We're going to take a short break just for 10 minutes, just to bring in our next round of guests, get ready for the launch party and everything. If you would like to join us in-game for our little launch celebration as we press the button, we're going to be doing that at 4 p.m. game time. Head on over to Burthop right now on World 16 and 36. There's tons of people out there already, I'm hearing, and we have JMods out there ready to celebrate with you, give out love letters and all that fun stuff. So we're going to go for a quick break. We'll be back in 10 minutes, and we'll see you shortly for the time where we deploy mobile to the world. See you in a sec. Welcome back to our mobile launch stream, a live epic with the returning Mod Liam. And we are also really pleased as we come down to these final minutes before we push the button to deploy mobile around the world. The one and only Mod Pips, CEO of Jagex, and the person who pioneered this journey into the world of mobile for RuneScape. Just before we come to you, Pips. Yeah, no worries. Thank you for joining us. And just before we come to you, if you wondering why I'm sounding so rushed, everybody, conscious of time, just before we come to you, Pips, we just want to also say a big hello to our Zoom wall of JMods who worked on mobile, watching these final moments before we release our build. Apparently, our production team are saying we're not quite ready for that, so we'll come to them in a second.
We are now. I've gone as well as something in game. Go for it. Bring them on.
Okay, do we want to say a quick hello to the Zoom wall? Hey, Zoom wall. So we've got a bunch of our developers. Not everyone could join us today, so big shout out to everyone who couldn't join us on the call today because of various commitments. But thank you to the mobile team, and we'll be coming to you every now and again. The faces behind the mobile release you love. So Mod Pips, welcome to the show tonight. We are just minutes away from beginning the rollout of RuneScape on mobile. Take us back to 2016, where this idea all began, or earlier if it was even earlier than that. What does this journey mean to you and the future of RuneScape?
I know Mod Liam did a great retro earlier on, but yeah, I think that I go back to like 2012, 2013, where we were starting to talk about, okay, this like smartphone thing's a big deal, and maybe our games could go on there. And it's even when we look at the HTML5 client, goodness, you go back to that, and then the NXT technology base we started building, there was a bit in the side of our minds that that was going to lay the foundations for us taking the RuneScape tech onto more platforms that eventually became what we built off for what we have now with RuneScape Mobile. Like the reason I think goes back to the beginning of time for Jagex, right? That the roots of the spirit of allowing people to play, as many people to play our games as possible, for them to be as accessible as possible, widely available as possible, right? You go back to Andrew Gower, who wanted this big and deep MMORPG that could be played easily on any computer without a big download. That accessibility is really important to us, and thus with the decision to have a go of bringing RuneScape to mobile, that spirit was there with us there, right? To have a game that could be played however the community wants, at your fingertips, convenient to play whenever works for you. I think as Liam covered earlier on, we got more serious about it late 2016, early 2017, where we committed it to be a proper project that Jagex would really invest in and build. Obviously, we went through early on. It's been quite the journey. We had to learn a new platform, a new technology base, tons of technological and creative challenges to fit what's, I mean, surely one of the world's biggest games onto a much smaller form factor than a desktop, and less technically flexible than desktop as well. And now here, like on the precipice of our full launch, it's exciting and nerve-wracking, but really just amazing. And I think we all recognise this isn't the finish line with RuneScape Mobile. It's a major milestone in the journey of RuneScape Mobile, but we're going to continue to improve it based on players' feedback. And RuneScape Mobile itself is an important milestone as part of RuneScape's long-term epic journey, right? And I know that it's going to be part of strengthening the game and the community for many, many years to come. And I suppose that in mind, having been on lots of winding roads with RuneScape Mobile development for a number of years, I wanted to just give my heartfelt thanks to everyone who's been part of getting us here. I'm phenomenally proud of our teams at Jagex for being able to do this. Of course, the developers who've been forging the mobile build over the years, but there's been so many people across the company who've been contributing to make the reality of what we're starting to launch today. Of course, I really want to thank the players as well, right? There's those who've helped us test the various builds in our testing phases, especially those who gave us feedback to help improve it. You can see how incredibly effective that's been. And of course, thank you to the community as a whole for your patience and your passion with what we've been building. We hope it's going to be a really useful part of your scaping for forevermore, and valuable for everyone, no matter how they have played so far. So yeah, we're nearly there. What a journey!
Awesome. And speaking of nearly there, I've just got word, and I think we're going to cut to the Zoom wall. We have officially started the deployment of RuneScape on mobile. This amazing team that you're seeing here on Zoom are just part of the team that contributed to making this possible across Jagex. And over the next 24 hours, you may see it earlier. You know, the official launch time is tomorrow at 5 p.m. But the way it rolls out means you may see it very soon. You may see it in 5-6 hours from now. You may see some people in some regions having it, and then others not. Just bear with it. It's all coming over the next 24 hours. But big congratulations to this team. Obviously, Mod Pips, I can only imagine this is a big person for you. You know, you just talked about the journey it was on, and here you are, like, seeing this go out the door. Like, is there anything you want to say just now to the team or to the community?
Look, I just want to reiterate what I said already. We're phenomenally grateful for the dedication of everyone at Jagex, especially the dev teams who've slaved over this and experimented and tried loads of different things and have come up with something that works brilliantly now. So thank you so much, everyone at Jagex. And of course, thank you to the community for trusting us, being patient with us, and now sharing the benefits and success of RuneScape on mobile. It's going to be brilliant to give people more ways to play and bring in even more players into the community. It's going to be fantastic.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing this moment with us, Pips. It's always special to have you on. I know you have a lot of things to wrangle, and as much as I'm sure you'd love to celebrate and stay with us, I know that always is something looming over you. But we'd really love to have you back on soon, and thanks so much for coming by.
You're very welcome. I look forward to it.
Thanks, everyone. Well, on that note, we have a ton of people right in the end game right now celebrating just as we switch everything over production-wise. Come and join us. Let's keep this party going for a while. World 16 and World 36 at Burthorpe Lodestone if you want to join in. As a reminder, like I said, RuneScape on mobile will appear on different stores in different regions at different times over the next 24 hours. If you're looking to repeat those big welcome parties like Steam, we saw so many of you share amazing stories, memories, moments, things you went and did to welcome all these new players coming in. Don't expect that wave to happen right now. As we said, it's a bit of an unconventional rollout. But from 5 p.m. Tomorrow UK time, so 4 p.m. tomorrow game time, we do expect to start seeing those people coming in, and especially as we get to places like Friday and Saturday. We can't wait to hear your stories from launch. We'll be out there with you. It was one of our favorite memories ever, really, seeing what happened with the Steam launch. And we're just going to spend a little time hanging out with all of you and talking a little bit. Whilst we get ready, and we'll be going to our next section after this once we take a short break at around 20 past. So I want to come to you, Mod Liam, because obviously, you know, we want to talk to Pips. This is a journey Pips has started us on a long time ago and been a big part of. But you've been a huge part of the mobile launch as well. You know, was it feel like seeing the team back on the Zoom wall, kind of being able to celebrate and everything? It's been a lot of work, right?
Yeah, it's been a huge amount of work from a huge amount of people. I mean, the people in the Zoom wall as well are just a fraction of, you know, I think we
Bring them up.
put together. Yeah, let's have a look at them. There they are. Fantastic beards in there as well. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, there's tons of people. There's like, how many on that wall so far? There's 40 on that wall. I know that when we were trying to figure out, and I was sort of casting out for names from people like a couple of weeks ago who wanted to take part in the wall and had contributed to the project, that got up to 80. So, and that I suspect is also a fraction of the people that have actually contributed to the mobile project in the span it's been going. Like literally, if I could, I would just round up all the staff in the car park just in one tight mob, and I could throw a shoe at them, and I have a fairly decent chance of hitting someone that's worked on mobile.
Sounds like a good welcome back game. Let's do it.
Yeah, that's the
first right there.
First thing we're doing when we get back to the office, guys. So yeah, like huge thanks to everyone, no matter your contribution, big, small, or like I said, you know, Mod Ashes, Patient Zero, we can call him maybe, or Mod Mobile, but there from day one, everyone that has joined him on that journey in various different phases, just thank you. You've been awesome. You've done awesome. And enjoy yourselves, because today and tomorrow are your celebration. And then back to work Friday, because we've got loads of work.
Yeah, and there is a lot to go, and I know like even just on a, you know, community team side and getting everything ready and stuff, there's just looking on the outside in and seeing what you're all doing, and as much as we tie in, it's crazy the amount of work that we've seen. So you know, we're talking about bringing 20 years of content and lots of different development styles, different eras of RuneScape all into a little device. It's kind of crazy. So
absolutely, and all the stuff that goes on around that you know isn't directly tied to game development. Even for me, who's been in the company for like 15 years or more, some of the functions that were happening, some of the work that people were doing, I was just like, wow, that's something that we do. Awesome. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. There's this whole new team that I didn't really know about that I'm now interacting with. So in that respect as well, it's given me a lot more appreciation for other people in the company and what they're doing. It's been a really awesome project.
I mean, like these moments as well. Like we talk a lot about Steam launch, maybe sometimes a bit too much in terms of the reaction. But like I remember seeing what we're seeing now. Like this is just something that we've asked players to come out and join us and celebrate the moment with, and you wouldn't believe how far and wide these images go around the studio, right? Like because when we can't be with you in person, when we can't share this moment at something like a Rune Fest, or even if, you know, it was a normal year, we might not get to share this moment with you in person at all. These are the things that I love what Mod Warden said about a pocket universe. This is where we all come together and get to kind of do that, and you have no idea how much it means to a lot of people on the team, but also just to see the sense of community that all these new players are going to join in. 1.8 million pre-registrations, albeit yes, not 1.8 million people diving in at once, but knowing that this is what they're going to come to and the kind of people they're going to meet is something special. So like, big shout out to you as well, community, because you make this something extra special that you can't manufacture this. You can't manufacture this sort of community magic. Mod Spear as well. I know you're going to be taking on mobile. Are you going to be taking on any particular mobile challenges? We've been doing our JVM journey, and I'm thinking we might have to be inspired by some of the PVMing I've seen out there.
Oh, we'll see. So a bit later on, we're going to be playing through Davendale. I'm preparing my mobile device of choice right now. It's the only reason I'm not on that is I need to charge the battery first, so I can and use the free cam to see everybody. But we'll be playing through Davendale, I believe, and I get to have my gameplay narrated by Mod Stu because I'm a very lucky man. And then, when if anyone's got any ideas what they want me to try and take on, someone's already said Telos. I couldn't do that on PC. You all saw it.
Oh, and we had like I said as well, World 16.
Oh, sorry,
just if you wanna...
to address chat, so I'm saying mobile device of choice, and I pulled out a tablet. Yeah, it's a lot easier to get a video feed out of a tablet into a big streaming room than it is to get one out of my actual go-to.
Very true.
Phone. But believe me, this has done a lot of daily challenges over the last year.
16 and 36 of the worlds, by the way. It's actually quite funny as well because we're having this kind of like nervous anticipation now because we've had this moment of pressing the button. We want to share this moment with all of you because we didn't really want to do this tomorrow at 5 p.m. when we know that most people in the community who are already part of the RuneScape community are probably going to spread the word that, oh my god, you can grab RuneScape on mobile now, go get it. So we decided to have this moment today when we press the button. Now we're all kind of on tenterhooks because we're like, is it out now? Are people starting to discover it? So if you see us like looking like this, we're all just trying to see if you're all starting to discover the game coming out. We have no idea how quickly it's going to appear, so it should be pretty awesome, and it will be hopefully really a cool moment. Mod Liam as well. I know, that, like you said, tomorrow is a bit of a break for you and the team on the development side, obviously, other than those who have to look after everything. I think you're saying, is it going to be straight into the mobile work next? If you've got more builds on the way, what's kind of on the forefront of your thinking when it comes to mobile after this?
I mean, obviously, realistically, we had the launch build ready to go quite a while ago, to be honest, and we were just sort of doing final testing, and a few fixes went out with the update yesterday. So, post FCL, we're going to be focusing on supporting the launch. Obviously, we're going to be setting aside a fair bit of time in the first couple of weeks to look after live issues that crop up. We've been working consistently as well on doing all of the polish jobs and feedback and other little things like redoing the home screen so we can get rid of the store button next to chat. Doing stuff like that so that we've got some post-release releases. Mm-hmm. That was badly phrased because they're not really fixes, but they're just polish that we can get into the game in time for full commercial launch. So we're going to carry on with that whilst we're putting together our more deeper, detailed plans for what will be coming in the weeks, months, and years in the future.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Just a quick thing. Let's cut to Zoom. We'll get ready. We're going to cut to you. So if you're eating a sandwich or something, put the sandwich down for a second. Whatever you're doing, I don't know. I don't want to cut to people when they're not ready. But we don't want to keep it at the. We have a lot of developers on the call who have given their time and worked around the schedules to get us in. Just want to let you all say a quick goodbye and give a quick wave and everything. Thank you so much for joining us, dev teams. Congratulations on your amazing launch, and thank you for being part of the celebration and letting the community see who you are, who are the people behind the magic. I'll let you go through the pages as well, Spear. Thanks so much, everyone, on that one as well. And some great news to end on, Zoom Wars, you can still hear me. We're seeing people in chat saying they're already downloading in the US, in Romania. We're seeing some people are starting to get their builds. So nervous excitement. We're actually starting to see some people grabbing it. iOS UK just reported as well. So yeah, if you're looking to be one of the first in, It's happening. It's actually happening. So, as crazy
Awesome.
as that is,
And
Canada downloaded. I almost said North Korea. That's probably not a true one.
North
From
Korea.
Brazil.
They probably
Live in
are on
Singapore.
VPN.
Got it. Could be. Yep. True.
Um,
Holland. Sorry, Holland hasn't seen
yeah,
it. So
totally. Just remember,
yeah,
guys,
that's
as well,
amazing.
like midnight is when the pre-reg rewards unlock. So if you're getting into mobile right now, they won't unlock until midnight UTC game time. So
Yep.
just one
So yeah,
more.
and also just remember, just because you're seeing someone else in your region or someone else in a region next to you or in the same time zone or whatever, getting their download, the reason we're saying this is a launch, begins 5 p.m. tomorrow rather than today is because the way the rollout works is a bit unpredictable. It goes out and it kind of propagates in the way it propagates. So bear with it. Your time will come over the next 24 hours. Keep checking. You'll be one of the first in. But it's awesome to see. There's so much hype in chat right now of all the people doing it. It's a pretty awesome moment to see. So hope you all really enjoy it. Okay, we've got about 5 minutes before we're going to cut to our break. I've seen a lot of you asking about City of Senntisten. That is going to be our next section. We have Mod Rowley and Mod Sponge joining us. We've got an in-game trailer to debut, as well as the first details on what to expect with the quest and some of the rewards, which is going to be pretty awesome. Spear, if you've got it to hand, I know I'm asking you to do camera work and do that. Should we re-roll that mobile trailer that's super awesome since we have finally started rolling this thing out?
Watch
Oh,
this.
no hands
No
magic.
hands.
Oh, and I wish I could say that's the only awesome trailer we have for you today, but it's going to be 2 for 2, I think. You will be the judges,
Yeah,
but what we have coming up is pretty special.
Not to be biased as a member of the video team, but yeah, this one is good. The next one is sick.
Pre-hyping as well. Mod Liam as well. I love. Oh, someone used that dev command on the potato. I love it. It's one of the things actually we want to do more of these because they're just so fun. We love just hopping in and seeing how many of you turn out and be part of this as well. If you are looking to do those launch parties, like we said, Friday is really the day to start thinking about it, or Thursday evening UK time, so like 4 p.m. game time onwards tomorrow is when we'd recommend to do those. If you're doing this, tweet us at RuneScape, use the hashtag RSMobile. Let us know that you're doing them, and if we have any JMods, we'll pass the word around, and hopefully some JMods can come join in. I know a lot of our JMods to Steam spent almost a week either on the side when they were working and even in their personal hours, just in Burthorpe welcoming all these players coming in from the tutorial. So if you are doing it, let us know. We'd love to join you as well. And actually, just to throw that out there as well, please do welcome all the new people you see in the community. You're probably going to see some very new player questions coming out all through the woodwork. Help them out. Let them know everything. Show them where the wiki is. We're going to do our be out there. You'll see a bunch of us as mods kind of interacting and helping them all out. But welcome in. Show them what we're all about. The community spirit on show here, I know, is like. One, yeah, where's Lumbridge? So only iOS gets rewards. Not true. Both platforms get rewards. You will need to go into mobile. I think it's worth saying that, as you know, whenever we do kind of exclusives like this, just like we did for Steam, at some point down the road we will make it so that you can acquire the pre-reg rewards without having to have a mobile device, but we don't have any specifics to confirm on that today. Mod Liam, do you want to confirm anything about how the XP boost works and all that sort of stuff, just to give people all the firm details?
Yeah, the XP boost is basically, it's active in the first 7 days of launch week, and you just need to log in on mobile when it's available for you, and you will have that initial week, launch week, 50% bonus XP, and if you log into desktop, it will be there as well. But you need to log in to mobile first to activate it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah, and you won't be able to pause that or anything, right? It's literally like a global 7-day timer of 50%.
It's just yeah, it's just a 7-day timer of 50% XP, no sort of pausing, no carrying it over that 7th day or anything like that.
Do irons get that XP? I assume that's a hard no, but
That's a hard no for irons. We did say no.
Make sure
Hardcore
we cover
iron
that
no,
off.
by the way.
But you will get some sweet cosmetics that look amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And
Got
there's a whole bunch of
armor.
stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some pretty sweet stuff and a nice looking pet in there as well. So definitely check it out.
You should have got that on your JMod account, Spear, so we could have showed it off. We should have thought ahead.
Oh yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
That would have been a good one. But there you go.
Why didn't I think of that?
There you go. Well, we weren't expecting.
You've got a
you
little
to
bit
think of
going
it,
on at the
Liam,
minute, haven't
come
you?
on.
The mobile launch. You've got some other stuff to worry about, I feel.
Yeah.
A little bit, but you know, it's all part of the job.
Someone is really good
tree.
at placing trees.
I think you're being tried. This is like the RuneScape version of stream sniping. Just
Yeah, it
getting
really
in the
is.
way of your free cam.
Hang on, I'll fix this. I'll just do this.
Get in the way of this.
Right, so because I know it's 11 minutes, I'm actually going to throw this out. So thank you, Mod Liam, for joining us. Thank you to everyone who's joined us here on stream or in-game survey at this moment. I don't want to speak to everybody, but I would imagine this means a lot to everybody and that so many of you turned out, so thank you. We're going to be back in just 10 minutes' time for our next segment, where we're going to drop the first details on the City of Senntisten, and we're going to give you a first look with our latest in-game trailer. This break won't just be any old break, though, because courtesy of Mod Surma, during the countdown, we're also going to let you hear the first tracks from this new quest. So sit back, enjoy a 10-minute break, and wallow in some incredible music from Mod Surma. Take it away. And we're back. It's our mobile launch live stream epic, and it's continuing with City of Senntisten. As Mod Warden mentioned earlier, we have a really awesome summer to look forward to, whether you're a new or existing adventurer in the world of Gielinor. Now, last week, thanks to an awesome partnership with community artist Killerfishy, we unveiled our next epic quest that marks the last piece of content before the war itself begins in July. And this is the City of Senntisten. Join me now to talk more about this dramatic next quest in the Elder God War saga before we drop a first look in-game trailer are Mod Rowley.
Hello.
And
Evening.
Mod Sponge.
Hello there.
Well, Sponge, your camera is particularly awesome. I'm jealous. Teach me your ways of high-quality camera work. So, before we go into this quest, couple of things. There are going to be some things we're going to show with the trailer and also talk about that are unavoidable spoilers for recent events in the Battle of the Monolith. If you are not up to date in the Battle of the Monolith, there will be some slight spoilers here, so be warned. We will not spawn the last piece of the Battle of the Monolith that will happen on Monday, so just know that. What I will do is we are going to spoil a little bit of Azanadra's quest and kind of setting up where this quest comes from. I will do I'm going to hold my spoiler finger up, and when I drop the spoiler finger you can unmute, but just bear in mind if you're not up to date with Battle of the Monolith, there may be some things that you see or we discuss that are relative to this quest that may be spoiled, so be warned. Alright, so Mod Rowley, Mod Sponge, I know you've been dying for people to get their hands on this quest. You set us up on what is leading into this quest when it comes to the narrative. There's my finger.
Okay.
I feel like
So-
Mod Rowley's the mastermind, so I'll let him take that on.
I was gonna just go really slowly and hope that you just start talking more. I'm gonna try not to spoil things. I'll talk more vaguely, but yeah. So Azanadra's quest, he starts out as a friend, although not to everybody, as a character, and obviously something happens at the end of that quest where you may or may not question whether he's still a friend, and where his loyalties have very clearly always lied with his Lord Zaros. And the Battle of the Monolith kind of hammers this home. You have met on the field as enemies, so where do things go from here? That's the question. There's obvious also to see the Battle of the Monolith has had an impact on the world. Certain events are going to have lasting ramifications. If nothing else, we've had things like shadow behemoths coming through and attacking the world. And the elders have obviously taken notice. They've sent their Tok'ar forces along to quell that particular incursion. So you can kind of see the stage is set.
So we just need to figure out where we go from here.
Sure, okay, I'm putting the finger down. Like I said, there's still going to be some things you're going to see in the trailer and stuff that are going to be related to things, but I at least wanted to get the major stuff as best we could. So, okay, so onto the quest itself. That's what's happened. So we've seen this new entrance begin to... You know what? I think we get to the talking bits in a second. Production, can you roll that trailer? Let's do it.
This new power I wield is no virtue. Ascension has a weight of its own. The fog of war fast encroaches. Patient shadows wait for their victims. They're almost here. These four walls, our last bastion of defense. A city fortified, protected, and strong. Our light diminishes. It's just us now. I pity those that would try us. Death marches to our doorstep, and we hold.
I've seen that thing so many times, and that we hold and stuff, like, whoa, still get chills, amazing stuff. And as you may have seen also, our City of Senntisten key art, we had to hold a little spoilery thing in that, and now you've finally seen the full masterpiece, and I will leave it there. So let's go to what the City of Senntisten is. You know, we may have some people in here who are joining us because they've heard about some potential rewards that are coming up, or maybe just haven't experienced a lot of the kind of past narrative and lore of the series. So, Running Sponge, it's clear we're headed to the City of Senntisten because it's an important part of the war to come based on that trailer. Can you set up the premise for this quest?
I mean, this has kind of been a long time coming, right? Ever since kind of a long time ago in a desert not so far away with Desert Treasure, we've kind of been alluding to this city. Not even necessarily alluding, obviously. We've got curses and Temple at Senntisten. I don't know what I can say and how much I want to say.
We have to be very careful of our spoilers.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Senntisten, it's a real treat. I honestly don't know what else I
think
can
that's
add on to
perfect.
that.
I think it's a perfect way to say that. And I'd like to, Mod Rowley, to you, like, what, you know, whereas the city is steeped in a lot of RuneScape lore, and there's a lot of importance on the city even before now, and it's kind of true emergence, I guess, like as this lost city. Do you want to set up a little bit about what the City of Senntisten is in the history of RuneScape?
Sure, yes. So the Senntisten was the capital, the seat of power for the Zerosian Empire. We've already got the temple, as mentioned, from the Temple at Senntisten quest, and the empty throne room now as well. So over time, we've slowly been kind of teasing little parts of it. This is a different part of the city. It was a huge city, so like we've got plenty of real estate to play around in, and the kind of part we focused on is eclectic for a number of reasons that will become apparent as time goes on. But as you could see in the trailer, there's this lovely focal point of this cathedral. The obvious ties there to Azanadra. I don't really want to say more about the city itself. I mean, historically, players who are versed in the game, they know what Senntisten is. It's more about what it's going to be like to visit, I think.
Yeah, and is it just a location that you can simply enter, or is the quest take me on a journey to access, like a very rough, non-spoilery level? Like what does it look like? Am I going to just rock up to the entrance that Azanadra's been commissioned that uncovering of, that you can already see at the north of Veroctic site?
Thanks to the wonders of archaeology, of course, yeah. We've got a whole skill that's been uncovering the secrets of the past and giving you access to old places of the world. It won't be quite straightforward as that when the quest comes around. I mean, there's a little bit of legwork that you have to do first to earn the right, effectively, to enter. But the city is the star. Like, we had this from the outset, from the design of the quest. I mean, it's right there in the name, City of Senntisten. It's not a surprise or a spoiler to say you're going to visit. It's what you get there. So we have a little bit of noise in my background. Motorbike going by. There aren't any motorbikes in Senntisten, so don't worry about that. There's kind of a little preamble at the start to kind of earn the access, but then very much the quest is about the exploration of the space and discovering what it's all about.
And it's a long buried city, and I hear it's not exactly safe when you go venturing around there, right? There's some danger down there, so I hear. I know we're not going to say much about it, but it's nothing straightforward in RuneScape quests, is it?
There's definitely something to be wary of down there.
Yeah. You can't have an ancient city that was ruled by the darkest of Dark Lords for centuries without having some bad stuff to find down there. I won't say anything in particular, but I will say, like, one of my personal bugbears is when you go into these ancient spaces in games and all the candles are lit. Like, there's someone going around all the time just lighting up a candle. So we turn that into a bit of a feature. There's some of that because practicality, you have to have light, otherwise you won't see what you're doing. But yeah, we've built on that.
Awesome. And so we've already kind of teased a little bit on social, but this is a quest that comes packing some real rewards with it. Now, I know we won't want to go into every detail and save some surprise for launch as we like to do, but what roughly can players expect to earn from this quest?
Greater Ricochet, now empowered even stronger. No, I'm joking.
I wonder how many people just... I'm waiting for the chat reaction on that one.
Sorry, because I think you're Sponge, because I think your stuff is really good. I want to go first, because my bit is underwhelming. So one of the rewards, we are continuing the ring reward you got from As an Address quest. There's an upgrade for this. It's not very good. On release date, it'll be rubbish. Like, we're well aware of this. There's even some, like, we put in some cheeky little dialogue with a few characters to remark on just how bad it is. And this is for a good reason, because it's going to become very good. It's one of those rewards you get in RPGs where, you know, it starts out, oh, this is useless, why would I use this? But then by the end, it's like, oh, okay, that's why. And that's going to become more apparent over time. It's just, don't judge it on day one, because it's going to get really good. But your stuff, Sponge, I think, is the real reason.
Well, hype it up, why don't you? Now I'm nervous. Yeah, me and Rowley had quite a few discussions about what to do with rewards. I think we started with curses, because Temple at Senntisten, City at Senntisten, you know. But for me, it just kept coming back to Desert Treasure, where this entire thing started. I remember playing Desert Treasure when I was a kid, and Ancient Magics was so iconic and so strong, I just wanted to do it again. So yeah, the main rewards from this will be for new Ancient Magics. I'm not going to reveal everything. I want players to get in game and see a lot of it themselves. Yeah, there's 4. They're all combat based, and they're not just like Ice Barrage Mark II, Blood Barrage Mark II. These are brand new, all unique, and there's a lot of stuff we haven't done before. These will be used at a high level, especially, and these will really mix up your rotations. Just as a kind of small teaser on what they actually do, for example, one is going to completely transform one of your abilities. One is going to harshly reduce the adrenaline requirement of another of your abilities, and then the other 2, I'm going to keep my lips completely sealed.
Close to your chest.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what players do with them. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into them, so I just hope everyone enjoys them.
Awesome. That's part of the way we're also we're always listening to community feedback, and we've heard a lot from the Magic community as well about their feeling on the position in the meta and stuff. And that's part of our way of kind of even listening, right? And bringing that into things we do, like a quest, which I don't think anyone would have expected.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Now, obviously, it's a quest, so it's hard for us to go into much more insight than we already have without spoiling the experience. If you don't already know and you haven't already checked out our announcement post, to be ready to dive in this Monday, you're going to need 75 Slayer, 74 Magic, and 74 Archaeology. You will also need to have completed as an address quest, and you will also need to have completed the mini quest Battle of the Monolith. If you don't already know, the Battle of the Monolith actually concludes the day this comes out. So there is one final part to the Battle of the Monolith before your mini quest be counted as complete. So if you're looking to get in on this as soon as you can, I know I am when it releases on Monday, you're going to want to continue your quest at the Battle of the Monolith, finish that up, see the ending to that, and then you'll be, provided you've got all the other requirements, good to go to begin the City of Senntisten. And don't forget that, this Monday is not only the end of the Battle of Monolith in order to start this quest, but if you're someone who's interested in that Elder God Wars dungeon rolling fronts that we've talked about beginning in July, there's a Shard of Erebus in there too, which is probably going to come in handy. Shards tend to be pretty good for dungeons, who knows? But yeah, so quick question, has anyone got any questions in the chat? There's no guarantee we'll be able to answer them. We want to be very careful of spoilers and all that sort of stuff. So if you've got any questions, quickly fire them through. Otherwise, we're pretty much going to wrap up for our final section, to be honest. Just to see if anyone has any questions. It's the new ring. New ring's got nothing to do with the death cost, I will tell you that.
Well, while you're sharing questions, I do have one thing to add.
Oh yeah.
The trailer is a very good teaser for the quest, but it's also a teaser for the phenomenal work I think the art and audio teams have done on this project. And that's just to say, on release day, crank up that audio. We are partially voiced. The music is fantastic. Again, the team has outdone themselves. And the whole city is dripping with atmosphere. And to turn the audio off, you'd be missing out on a huge, huge thing, I think.
Awesome. I think that's a great shout. I think over the past couple of months, I keep teasing on stream that we have these things called sprint reviews where we every 2 weeks the team shares all their work, and I kept seeing what was going on for City of Senntisten and just being jaw dropped. And I think this week was when we heard the music, and I was just like, oh my god, I can't believe this is a thing. So yeah, big shout. I'm so excited to go explore it. So I'm a huge quester. Okay, right. Well, with that case, Mod Rowley, Mod Sponge, thank you so much for joining us. I know it's a quick section because we're trying to keep everything in mysterious and under wraps. Is there anything you want to say before we sign off, other than the shout out to the teams?
Just enjoy Senntisten and enjoy the treasures that come with it, I guess.
I'm going to let the quest do the talking.
Oh, I like that. All right, thank you both. Let's roll that trailer one more time, and we'll see you in 10 minutes, or probably more like after the trailer, 12:13, for our final segment of the show, where we'll be joined by Mod Stu, and we'll show you Davendale in its final mobile glory, and play a little of the launch build too. So let's roll that trailer, and we'll see you in 12-13 minutes.
This new power I wield is no virtue. Ascension has a weight of its own. The fog of war fast encroaches. Patient shadows wait for their victims. They're almost here. These four walls, our last bastion of defense. A city fortified, protected, and strong. Our light diminishes. It's just us now. I pity those that would try us. Death marches to our doorstep, and we hold.
Sorry to keep you waiting there, but welcome back to our mobile launch live stream. And if you can believe it, we're actually on the last section of the show. I can't believe we're 2 hours in and we literally have 50 minutes left of this, but here we are. And to finish things off, we wanted to jump in on the live mobile build and put on some mobile gameplay and talk a little bit about it. So joining us to do this are, firstly, I want to say Mod Spear, who has done an amazing job putting this together with Mod Druid. So hey, Spear.
Hey. Yeah, we are very much on the live client to the point where we're actually doing it live on the actual fully released version of the game now, because I just had to spend that break downloading it all properly and getting it set up because suddenly it was available.
Now also, of course, you know him, you love him. Mod Stu, tutorial extraordinaire, is here to kind of give you a, not quite a tutorial treatment, but we promised we come back through Davendale and do it live on mobile, and who better to join us on that journey than you, Stu. So welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure to be back, and thank you everybody for tuning back in.
And also, at least in my time we haven't had join us, Mod Skelitor, is this your first appearance on a live stream?
It is. This is my live stream debut, so...
Oh, amazing. Well, I'm just going to say, chat, you know how to do this. Give him Skeletor a warm welcome. But Mod Skelitor is here, another member of the mobile development team and a UX designer here at Jagex.
Hello.
All right. You're now discovering the wonders of the delay we work with, Skeletor. We work with like a 2-second delay, so... but thanks so much for joining us. It's really lovely to have you all with us, and thank you, chat. You've been so lovely to Skeletor. There's lots of love going on for you in chat. I don't know if you have it open, Skeletor, but lots of people saying throwing out the love. How are you all feeling about the launch? Firstly, I know Spear and I have talked about it, but Stu, Skeletor, how are you feeling about having mobile out there?
Relieved, definitely. Rather nervous. We're going to be swapping shifts on call for the next couple of days, trying to get enough coverage in case anything explodes. But hopefully things won't explode. It's been in RC for quite a while. We've done a lot of internal testing. You don't know until it hits an absolutely vast volume of people, of course, but quietly confident.
Yeah, it's really great. Like we as a team, we've been anticipating this obviously for a few months. So it's, as you said, it's a little bit of a relief, like especially for those of us who have been working on this for 4 or 5 years, possibly. But yeah, it's really exciting just to see what's going to, like, what everyone's reaction is, the comments that will be coming in, and the reviews that will come in from the various app stores. So yeah, really exciting.
Well, congrats to you both. For those of you in the chat, we're seeing you reporting some issue like logging in. We know lots of people getting in fine and stuff. Team are looking into all these reports, so keep them coming. Anything we see in here we'll pass along as well. But we know that there's a demand is very high right now, is what I'm hearing from the team, and so just bear with it, give it a few tries, and we'll keep you updated as best we can in all the social places if the demand remains really high for quite some time. But just know that we're seeing your messages, and we'll unfortunately on stream I can't magic up anything. If I hear anything from the team, I'll do it, but know that we've already seen it and the team are already talking about your comments. Okay, so awesome. So we thought it'd be nice, as we talked about, we wanted to end the show by playing mobile live on, and starting that is the new player experience. We've talked a lot about Davendale. I think we showed it in slideshow form, we showed it on desktop. Now we're going to show you it on mobile, but now all the final art is in, so you're not going to have to imagine how awesome that Maya looks. You're not going to have to imagine how cool that audio is. You're not going to have to wait to see those glorious refinements we talked about. They're all in, and so now we're going to dive in. So if you have any questions, drop them in the chat as we go. But without further ado, I think let's switch to a gameplay view. And Mod Stu, you can be our narrator on this journey to go through it. Now, we've talked a lot about the design of it. I think, we're not going to go into quite as much detail as
we just hit the login timer.
Hey,
that was well timed.
Yeah. 5 minutes.
Hey, there we go. We're good.
There we go. You're back in quick.
So,
work.
Yeah. So,
yeah,
Stu, if you want to just explain what you go through, and let's go through Davendale on mobile. It's a thing.
Sure. So, you've seen the intro cutscene last time. The only thing added to that is voiceover. So we'll skip to this point. The first thing you'll notice is that we now have a new Cypher outfit for the player, the Wave Worn outfit. we were using a Pathfinder placeholder previously, so this is to obscure the player's appearance and gender until a later stage in the tutorial when they choose their full character appearance and character creation. Ooh, there's somebody else there too. That's cool.
Yeah,
So that actually indicates.
I thought you just duplicated. I was like, what?
Yeah. Okay. So this is in the live game with other players, and we've played around this time with a small amount of shared instancing. So we've had tutorials in the past where it was just on the surface area, and just everyone can go in there. That has the disadvantage that lots of people are kind of talking to the same characters, talking over them. It's kind of hard to find in the noise of the area with all those players, the things you need to interact with. On the other hand, our current tutorial island, I took the approach of making that entirely instanced. That has the drawback that it's a much more of a lonely experience. You may have some doubt as to how popular this game is if there's not other people around you. So we are, for this time around, doing one where we allow just a few players into the instance with you, so you can see some activity. This particular guy here isn't moving around much, but I'm sure he's doing fine. And yes, then we introduce movement and camera controls, and then we just let you organically progress to the next area using the environmental guidance that's there. You may have also seen a little bit further back, there was a boat on the beach where the trolls crashed. If you recall that from the previous cutscene, some trolls, look at them all coming in, that's pretty cool. Some trolls that have commandeered half a boat and just barely managed to crash it to land here, and we're following after them. You can see some footprints heading through.
Yeah. I keep wanting to point to things on the screen like I normally would if we were on mouse and keyboard, and I keep pointing at the boat and stuff, and you're saying it, but like, no one can see my hands. What the hell am I doing? We need a roof cam or something, don't we? One day.
Do you know if they're getting any audio, by the way? Because hopefully we'll have some nice music and.
There's no new way to do with the current setup, I hear. Oh no, we're not going to hear the VO.
Oh no. I could just rack. I'll see if I can turn the volume up on the actual device and see if you can hear it down my mic.
Yeah, it's worth a try because the voice acting is really good.
Yeah, capturing from tablets is not exactly my speciality to begin with. Oh, I took a screenshot. Case in point. See. Well, Modsphere does not do tablets. I do big computers. I do TV broadcast galleries. Tablets are sort of alien to me. I don't do mobile.
Yeah, I have the same issue during our sprint reviews and trying to operate on this tiny little device with my big hands.
I'm also, for those of you saying in chat, for those of you who can't load the game, like the client, etc. Team's looking into it. There's a lot of demand all of a sudden for RuneScape on mobile, which is amazing. But obviously, with peak demand all at once can come these sorts of things. So just know we're on it. As soon as we have any updates, if I get any live to me in my ear or whatever, we'll keep you updated, and we'll keep you updated in the community too as best we can.
So there's some further environmental storytelling here. There's footprints you can see. You can see that that's hole where the trolls disappeared into, and some of them also went off into this little optional area here. There's something that's key to RuneScape is that it's a game that you explore. It's not particularly linear. You kind of have your own agency and things you go out and do. So you can go here and repair that bench here and just sit on it because you can, if you so desire.
Yep.
I think he was. I think he was hoping you would.
Yeah, it's misbehaving. Give us a second. Oh, game done this to me now.
Shouldn't have asked you to do that, clearly.
It's one of those things as well.
Flowers missing in that flower bed.
Oh, yeah.
I think one of the things we were talking about with Mod Liam was talking about is that we've played through this thing an absolute ton to squash any bugs and make it awesome. And I'd imagine, I could be wrong there, Stu, but I'd imagine that's more to do with some of the insane demand we have versus a bug. I could be wrong, but it feels to me like it's just not receiving your movement command.
Yeah, there's significantly more player activity at the moment than we would certainly ever have internally. So that might have just pushed it over the edge. Can you log back in again, Spear? Or
I'm just doing it. It's just taking a second.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I figured it was a logout thing.
Yeah, I lacked the repair skill for that bench and it bit back. Yeah, it's taking a while to load in because quite a few people are logging in at the moment.
Right.
We'll get
Let's try to fill some time then.
No, it's like these are one of the things with like one of the things that we knew with a pre-registration program is that you don't really know when the build's going to roll out, and what it's been clear I think from chat is that the build has rolled out to all regions very, very quickly, and there's a lot of demand for it very, very quickly, and so hopefully we'll have some updates for you on the situation with that. But we have a lot of pre-registrations, and I think we're going to be we're just encountering one of those waves when everyone's trying to log in at once. So thanks for your patience. I know it sucks to have some disruption, but we'll do what we can to get things going. Any luck, Mod Spear, to log in as yet?
It's loading.
It's loading, yeah. See, that's so we are looking at reports of the app loading slowly, or being unable to log in, or having a kind of a crash moment, or not being able to move slightly after log in, and that's all going to be tied into that demand. So yeah, we'll bear with us. We'll hopefully have some more gameplay for you soon. We wanted to do it live, and we didn't expect
we don't pre-record
quite at once. So. Yeah, I know we don't, but that's
maybe we should.
Those things, so. I like how someone said, "So, how's your weather there?" as an off-topic thing. I think we're all boiling. I mean, you're in the studio, Spear, so you should have aircon.
Massive aircon.
I don't know about you, Stu and Skeletor, but I am dying. It's like 29 degrees here right now.
Fortunately, my flat is in a relative amount of shade, although I close all my windows during the streams, so it is starting to bake a bit in here.
Yeah, I've got south-facing windows, so the sun's shining straight into the room all day, which combined with PCs makes it quite warm. And just while I'm on stream, need to keep the fan off so it's not blowing into the mic. But yeah, I'm managing. It's fine.
So here's a question, if you don't mind me raising one. So you're a user experience designer, Mod Skelitor. A lot of people don't necessarily understand what user experience is. Do you think you might be able to summarize what that is like in comparison to, say, a user interface designer?
Sure. So generally what the user experience designer is doing is they're looking at the game, they're analyzing, they're trying to look at the game in a number of aspects, looking at things like whether the game feels consistent, whether interfaces are sort of clean, they're understandable, like trying to find ways to balance all the different sort of perspectives that you get from different players. So whether that's we have obviously IMM players who have certain restrictions, we have high-level players, and you also have people who are more into the skilling side, and then others who are more into the PVM bosses. It's really trying to bring all these point of views together, analyze the game for what it is, and then sort of bringing forward suggestions, putting together sort of rough layouts and putting together prototypes that we can use to sort of improve the interactions. It's not just sort of down to interfaces. Like one of the things we did a few years ago was we brought in the movement cursor. So trying to identify those kind of improvements that we can add to the game, and putting forward sort of design. So I work with the design team quite closely, as well as the UI team. So it's kind of working with those two teams, and as well as the development teams, and trying to identify, give feedback where I can, and sort of help improve the game for all of our players, whether that's new or existing.
I'd imagine that RuneScape's a particularly unique challenge there, because we support so many different player types. There are ones that like exclusively only ever do bossing. There are ones that only ever do skilling. The people who are mad about quests and lore. The people who are highly social. People who are highly antisocial. And as a user experience designer, you're having to think about all those different mindsets and ensure that they're adequately covered.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we talk about the game having 20 years of content, and like that's 20 years worth of interfaces. But yeah, it's definitely a challenge. It looks like we've got the game back. So,
we did for a second. I walked you near the demon bench, and I've hit a lag spike.
Oh no, don't go near the demon bench.
Yeah. This is the trap. This is how we decide who makes it through Davendale and who doesn't. Yeah. No, for all of you out there our team are all over the reports of the slow loads and the login stuff. If you see me looking off to the side, I'm just trying to bring any updates to you as we get them. But generally, from what we're hearing, is the demand and the amount of people jumping in at once, I think, has exceeded all expectations. Even with a lot of players, we have a lot of extra servers on for mobile launch, including a bunch of extra ones in Australia, by the way. I know a lot of you were asking for more Australian servers, etc. But it looks like it's been a big surge coming through. Hopefully we'll have updates for you. We're going to try and get some communication out across all our social platforms as soon as we can. So just stand by, basically, while we get this resolved. Sorry for the disruption, really, and we'll do our best to keep you updated as we get new information.
We're trying.
Well, we're gladly inching our way there.
Yeah, I managed to escape from the demon bench, but it's it's odd.
Yeah,
it's just.
My worry is that Davendale village itself was the most graphically detailed area, so it's probably only going to get worse from here.
Yeah. Well,
but, ironically, it's been running pretty well internally. We're doing some various optimization of the FPS in Davendale and isolating some parts that had a little too high poly in places. Like, for example, we found that the grass around there was rather highly detailed, and we needed to scale that back a bit. So it was single-sided and so forth. So it was running pretty stably internally. I think it's just, as I say, just the sheer volume of people.
Yeah, everything I'm saying it
give it a day and
probably
just be fine.
Yeah, it's load related. It's everything I'm seeing right now. It seems to be related to load. So, like I said, hopefully we'll have some information for you very soon. Also, the spear behind Mod Spear is cool. It is a very cool. He has all the props. You know, I have a door and a curtain and a wall. He has an awesome thing.
We have a literal toy box over there of stuff we use to dress the studio. Not that we've had to do that for a while, but it does mean that we have a lot of toys in here.
Now,
it's already the best office, the streaming room, because we have our own sound system and as many screens as we want and aircon.
Yeah,
pretty dope job, to be fair. But
so while we wait for some updates and hopefully we get to show you off Davendale as planned, Mod Skelitor, you talked a little bit about what it means to be a UX designer. You've worked on this mobile project for a long time, right? Like, what's it been like to be like going through all those iterations that Mod Liam was showing? What's the experience been like?
I mean, it's been a big challenge. Like you look at the PC interface, and there's so many of these different interfaces or these sort of bespoke, unique elements that we have, and just trying to sort of condense that down into a mobile interface has been it's been a big challenge, and it's been something not only in terms of content that's been a challenge, but technically, like we've had to investigate things like interface scaling and really try and make the interface work for all these different resolutions that you can find on phones. Like what's quite standard on mobile phones is you get a 16:9 ratio screen. A lot more sort of modern high-end phones tend to push up towards 18.5:9, but then you also have, on the other hand, you have tablets where some of those ratios can be 4:3, and really trying to adapt the screen and build the screen in a way where it can really make maximum use of these interfaces has been a big challenge for us, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. And like I know, even just things like the new icons and like where the mini map goes and stuff. There's been changes to a lot of the user experience, like all the way to the end. And it's it blows my mind actually when I think that for a 20-year-old game that's got all these different experiences in it, and then I see, I know it was not easy and it came with a lot of hours and a lot of pain, but seeing Telos 4000% enraged like get downed on mobile, it's just, it's unfathomable that you could do that in a full fat MMO on a mobile, and yet here we are, right? And it's from that end to like the most basic thing, like clicking an archaeology spot, that you have to kind of think about, right? Building this.
Yeah, like that. Absolutely. Like that's the thing we've been trying to, with all this content we have in game, we've been trying to make sure that you can, like, you might not be able to do it to the highest efficiency, but you can at least do most of the content in the game. Like you can at least attempt Telos, you can get Telos to 4,000 enrage, and like maybe one day somebody will get to do a Solak or one of the sort of the toughest bosses we have in game. Maybe there's improvements we can make to that, but it's a lot of work to try and bring that into the phone, and I think we've really got somewhere where it feels like we've got to a point where you can really sort of experience the game at its fullest.
Yeah, and actually, if you are looking to like maybe start to put mobile more into your rotation, or maybe even considering it as your main device, maybe desktop play on a laptop or something isn't suiting you as much because your life's changed, whatever it is, there's actually some great videos by a lot of creators that have been posted over the last few months. I don't know if anyone here has seen them, but there's been some like tier rating videos and best bosses to tackle on mobile. So if you are looking to PvM on mobile, there's actually some amazing creative videos on YouTube already that actually go into this stuff, which is really cool. Yeah, just it should be a really good, hopefully, teaching experience for you if you're looking to do that. I still need to learn how to PvM before I can go do that, which I know Spear and Stu, we're going to do some Elite Dungeons together at some point by the people's demand.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
It's like, I've only done ED2, and I know I can technically solo the first and second bosses, it just takes a while. I cannot deal with the third boss in that dungeon. Every time I get to the big hands, I literally get slapped. It's the only way to describe it.
Yeah, it's definitely been a big change to how you play on PC and how you play on mobile. There's probably going to, for those experienced PC players, there's probably going to need to be some adapting to the way they play, because they'll have access to less action bars. They might have to sort of rely a lot on Revolution, but it's hopefully something that they can really sort of, once they start getting used to mobile, that they can really start getting to these bosses and really maximizing what the potential of mobile.
Of course, I know was asking, seriously wondering, RuneScape, why don't any of you like wireless headsets? I actually do. I just didn't bring mine over from Canada with me. I ended up selling it because I was like, oh, I'm not going to end up using it, and now I regret it massively.
As the person running the actual broadcast of it, wireless everything is bad. Wireless everything is an extra failing point we just don't need. If you had enough technical problems with people's home setups not working, please don't add Bluetooth into the blooming equation. Oh, God. I'd like to come back and do this in the studio where I can just put actual microphones on everyone. One day.
I know. Feel free to ship me one. I'll take it. I'm like a... Yeah, so... Cool. What are we? Have we made any movement, or still same situation?
It's still pretty much the same. No, I've got back in a few times, and I get about 10 good seconds. Oh no, hang on! It just woke up. Give me a second. We'll see.
Just so you know, as well, we've started to get notices on our Reddit and our Discord and socials going online now. Just checking with the team. I'm trying to do that, host and do this, but we're going to be all over it and keeping you updated as everything happens. And we'll give it a few more. To be honest, what we may do is, if we find that the load is something that isn't going to be resolved in the next few minutes, I think we can go away and work out how we can have Stu and Skeletor back to do this as planned, maybe when everything has kind of settled. But we're just waiting to hear finally for the we're just waiting to hear for updates on process. So we'll give it a few more minutes, and then if not, we'll look to redo it. Which would be a shame, because I know the live tutorial was much looked forward to, Stu.
Well, I mean, to be honest, the voice acting really does add so much to it, having those individual characters speaking as you progress through. We've found some actors that really nailed their parts. So to some respect, I'm kind of glad we'll have that you've given us an opportunity to see it in all its glory. Because particularly the mayor, he's this wonderfully rambunctious, loud, enthusiastic, and joyful character. He's kind of like Brian Blessed, but somehow better than that. It'd be a shame to miss.
It would be, yeah. And honestly, I remember when it was being shown in the sprint review, it brought so much life to it that it was already great, and it kind of took to another level. So, right, yeah, Do you know what? I think the best thing we could do, to be honest with you, especially because we all probably want to focus on getting you updates, is we're probably going to wrap up the stream now. And what we'll do is we'll look to repeat this sometime as soon as we can. But I think the best thing we could do for all of you is to make sure that we go and focus on the issue and get updates. Obviously, I know Skelitor and Stu, that's not particularly just like, it's not like everything depends on these 3 people on stream, like me, you, and everyone. But we'd love to give you updates and make sure we're giving you plenty of information. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop offline. All I can say is a massive thank you to everyone who's joined us today. We hope you really enjoyed the announcements. You know, Elder God Wars Dungeon begins in July. City of Senntisten release on Monday. That epic trailer that's now on our YouTube channel, looking awesome. And obviously mobile is rolling out now, and hopefully we'll have any of the things we're dealing with dealt with very quickly. We can get you all playing. So
it seems like it might just have started working. But
Ooh,
you know what will happen is that if we play it, it will stop. If we leave, it will start working for everyone else. So, do we take the sacrifice for the greater good?
Let's see. Seeing people say it runs perfectly now on their end as well, and I am seeing some reports internally of people having improved experiences. So,
all right, we'll risk it. If it breaks for us and it breaks for everyone else again, it's definitely not our fault.
Let's cancel the outro. Stick to the guns.
Okay. Oh, I thought it was going to do it exactly as we came back. Quality.
Oh,
right, let's go, Stu.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah, for the love of God.
Okay, great. I'd imagine we'll probably be a little bit slow.
See, this is why I don't like wireless headsets. Things go wrong.
Really?
Stu's network just
Really?
went
We lost Stu?
the game
Are
worked,
you
we
kidding
broke
me?
Stu.
Have I frozen?
So,
You're back. You're back.
now you're
He's
back.
Okay.
Oh my god.
It's like the curse bounces from one entity to the other. You were running great.
Which is worse? Do we lose the game or do we lose the narrator?
This one I'm going with the wired.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So as you meet the mayor, he normally has a lovely chat head here, but I guess we're waiting for that asset to load in with everyone else needing the same asset. You can inform him of the trolls coming. That he's fairly oblivious to it.
Oh, it's lovely to meet you.
Oh, you're very nice and polite. That's awesome. He appreciates that.
Oh, I'm getting a tour.
And then he relocates to the center of the village. You can see him being overshadowed by the statue of his ancestor. Since you're going into a larger area, we introduce your mini-map.
Can you also zoom in
like
as
out of
quickly as as close as you can as well, Spear?
Yeah,
on
there's
the
wonderful
mayor
detail on that
system?
mayor, so you can get in close.
Oh, it's so cool.
The animations
Great
are
work.
lovely too.
Oh, you turned him!
And let me frame this
By the
up
way,
nicely.
let's
There
know,
we go.
mini-map top right as well. The mini-map is back in top right. You see it in action
Yeah.
there as well.
Ooh.
Chat, just as a quick question while we're loading. How is it operating for you? Are you seeing an improved experience yet? Is things doing better? What we're having right now is, as I'm sure you can see, is there's a lot of demand for a lot of the assets, and so this is why you're seeing the slower loads and everything happening right now. Anyone on desktop, no game keeps freezing, can't get in. Okay, cool. So still very much the issues. We're just passing all this to the team. The rest of the community team as well are also going to be on this. We have a recent addition to the community team we haven't introduced yet, and they are helping out with some of our team that we already have there as well. And obviously Kari's in the mix as well, helping out and working on and everything. So they're trying to do their best to communicate whilst I'm here on stream, waiting for the loading.
Creating a new instance is a fairly expensive process at the best of times, so I think it might have just pushed it over the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's
yeah, Boy Matt's asked, when do we get the 50% bonus XP? It begins at midnight game time on the 17th. So, you know, in, God, what, where are we now? It'd be almost 6 game time, so in about 6 hours 20 minutes, something like that. Yeah, 6.5 hours. Thanks, Rubik. My brain is so fried with today already. We've got a launch ahead, so this is gonna be fun. So that's good.
Second,
all right, we will call it there because we're gonna concentrate on this fully. It's really important that the whole community is throwing themselves at this, and obviously I'm sure Stu, Skeletor, Skeletor, I don't know if you'll be involved in fixing whatever's going on, but I know, Stu, you are on rotation as well. So thank you very much for joining us. Stu, Skeletor, I'm so sad we couldn't spend more time with you, but I'm sure we will in the near future. We will get this back in. But thank you very much, everybody. We are going to go focus on getting you updates on what's going on and focusing on getting you playing. Take care. Thank you so much for joining us for the stream. We hope you had fun. Hope you enjoyed even the end here. And hopefully we'll see you on live stream again very soon. Stay tuned to RuneScape's social channels, Reddit, Discord, everywhere we live for the latest updates on what's going on as we work to get you playing. Take care, everyone. Thank you.